let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1, we're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around there. Sexy Rexy, yibbida, folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front. Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be. Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has. And it's Wilco with a nose in front as we come through to complete the lap. Side-Org, our winner from last week and championship leader, King in there as well. And don't tell me Wilco could have gone from 1st to 3rd in a matter of corners here, Bob. I reckon he's lost the lead, and he could be down to 3rd by the end of the opening lap. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching right around the world. And perfect timing too, because the Nigerian Prince has just subscribed. 11 months, baby, almost the big 12. Looking forward to it. The baby's been born, and he's loving our work as per usual. But this is round 4 of this KRL one-make Nissan GTR Liam Neeson Matt Simmons series. And you've joined us in qualifying. There's already a yellow flag out for something as we take a look at Kilroy. I think the Exorcist might be exercising a few demons as I welcome my co-commentator number 1 in the commentary box after myself and Chuck Norris, of course. It's Jason Wilkinson. Good evening to you.
I think that puts me as number 3 then, Trip. But yes, hello. Look at you. Number us. I don't know, give me a number, Trev. But very German of you. Sorry, yeah, we're here tonight for people have crashed on the outlap. I think it was the brothers.
Ooh,
the brothers come together.
It seems that.
Anyway.
Well, interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, we're here again for another KRL night. We had a bit of a chaotic night last night. There's a few stewards' inquiries going on in the background, but you know, hopefully the Nissan boys can keep it nice and cool and calm and collected. There's only 21 cars tonight rather than 27, so hopefully we have a clean start to the race tonight.
And great stuff. That is a multiple KRL champion, Jason Wilkinson, of course, joining us tonight. Now I introduce a man who had the idea to start selling his piss as a canned beverage, and guess what? It's now called Red Bull. I speak of none other than Chuck, the Nigerian Prince Norris, joining us from Adelaide. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Trev. Good evening, Wilco. I feel privileged to be the number two out of all of this scenario. Wilco's like the sloppy seconds, if that makes sense. He's number three, so
Well,
now
you
looking
do know
forward
what
to
number
the
twos
Liam
usually
Nissan.
recommend. That's what goes in the toilet bowl. So if you want to compare yourself to some shit, then Cam,
I
we
mean,
can
look,
do
I'd rather it
that.
be that than sloppy seconds. But look, I'm looking forward to tonight. It's going to be good. The Liam Nissan series is back. Been looking forward to this.
Yes! Fantastic! And Cobb McCool has just subscribed Chuck Norris, and he says, guess what? Good evening, smiley boys. How goes it? And Corn on the Cob is up and about and joining us very early here in qualifying.
Yeah, gotta love to see the viewers and the family, basically, as we like to call them, getting behind you and supporting the channel. If you're out there and you've got a Prime sub, definitely be sure to consider using that here. You can send Trev to the moon, or you can not send him to the moon, and he might unfortunately center himself after T2. It's up to you.
You cheeky little devil. As here we go, and the sound effects.
Okay, now more gas, left, perfect, go on the right, perfect.
And there we have it, the famous, God, I cannot get over how good of a day that was. Perfect in every way, the 1st of October, 30th of September, I should say, / 1st of October. And kind of meshed those days into one particular day because I didn't actually sleep after the grand final. So anyway, it was one continuous. It was a bit like a Chuck Norris endurance race there. But get your votes in. Who are we expecting, Jason Wilkinson, as we see one or many of your drivers from the Wilco Coaching Academy driving around out there here today? Who's our tip for pole position as Sophie King goes to the top with a 43.7?
Well, my tip is Mr. Sidog. He obviously had an first lap here, but he just did a 42.3 or something, which for a Nissan, the pole time last time the GT3s was a 46, I think. So to be only, just over half a second down in this Nissan, I think he actually went, well, depending on what he does in his quality time, but he did a faster time in the Nissan in practice than he did in his qualifying in the Audi last night. So it shows the lack of practice he had for the Audi last night and how he likes driving the Nissan.
Certainly does, and there we go, 43.7, 3/10 further back, sideways polka there. Nismo Nath, who was up and about last night on the stream. You can see there, Simon needs to switch to the GTR as Matt Simmons joining us. Glasso reckons Spawn will be on for pole position tonight. Sidorg, an absolute shoe-in, says the man who this particular series is named after, Chuck Norris. Big, bold statements there from Matt Simmons.
Yeah, definitely some bold statements being made there as we see Nismo Nate make a bit of a mistake there on the chicane, so car bottoming out like crazy. But it's a bold statement, and I like to see people back those things up. So Matt, I know you're unable to make it here tonight, but you could always jump onto the track and
Well, I just checked just to take some spice out of the air at the moment. But I just checked Simon's lap in the 2.9 in qualifying. He's done a 42.4 in the Nissan. So a car that's around what. Maybe this track is not too bad, but normally it's like 6-7 tenths to a second slower than a modern GT3. He's pedaling this car quite hard.
Pedal to the metal, absolutely
he is
flat
our
out.
series leader too.
And he certainly is, and that's something I probably should have organised before we.
I got it here.
We
you want to read them out?
would you please? We've got just a tick over 3 minutes remaining. If we can get the championship contenders, we'll go. That'd be fantastic.
All right, so 3 races run, 3 pole positions to Simon, 2 wins and a second. So he's on 150 points. Next is Gavert. He's on 136 with a win, a second and a third, and 1 fastest lap. And then Sophie King up in P3, but he's on 91 points. So there's a bit of a chunk between second to third. And then it's Norm, Rex, Mark, who is actually here now because he messaged me saying he's going to be late, but he's actually made it in time to do some laps in quali, so he might get he's in P21 at the moment, so we'll see what he does. Then you got Sideways Polka, Osh Wizard, Kilroy, who's just made the jump up from AM to Pro Am. So he's in P14 at the moment, and then you got Craig Arena in top 10. So yeah, it's quite tight from third down. You got, as I said, 91 points or so for King, down to 58 for Craig. But yeah, Simon and Gaveo are the leaders in the championship.
Great stuff. So all to play for here. Round 4 tonight, of course, and we'll catch up with some of these comments. Cobb McCool, better known as Corn on the Cob, says, Cam, we need a "Hey Georgie, do you want a balloon?" And before he goes and rips poor Georgie's arm off, I think that wasn't ideal for Georgie, of course, but he ended up in a much better place. One would hope, rather than down in the clown with down in the sewer with a clown, a homicidal clown who's a shape-shifting demonic entity. And Glasso Voodoo says, Glasso says Voodoo should speak in his Italian accent the all night. Have you ever noticed those old Italian men in Formula 1 documentaries? They all talk like that, but very slowly. And Nismo and Saint Sim with identical times, but I don't think that's the case now because Saint Sim's got his nose in front.
Yeah, no, definitely not the same times anymore. It was a quick observation that I saw a little while ago, but we do have that common denominator there, Trev. We have seen that happen quite a bit throughout this series, where people do sometimes land at the same time provisionally, but then towards that last closing minute and a half, they end up removing that same lap time. So I'm yet to see someone get the same lap time for pole position, because that one would definitely be a spectacle.
So it's 42.2. That's the time they're aiming for. And Sideauger GTR specialist here. We see you lurking. If you're out there, please follow. Wilco with his nose in front there with the gifted subs, 29 to Voodoo's 28. And Luke on 6, who has disappeared off the face of the earth. But we are counting down to the end of this qualifying session. Saint Sim back in the pits. Who do you believe can go quicker here, Wilco? I'm trying to see who have we still got out on track. Norm's off the track there.
Across the line is going to be Simon. So Mark did his one and only lap and went up to P14. So he slotted in between Saint Sim and Nismo there. It's quite, it's close times. Obviously the front probably 3 are sort of stretched out a little bit, but then it's quite close from then on. But Simon here, I'll jump on board. Where's Simon?
He's coming around.
He's on an invalid lap here, but there was someone.
And great lap there as Voodoo gifting a sub to Zesto. Big shout out to the Prince there.
Here. The paddle pop is about to go.
And where's the paddle pop?
6 tenths faster. He's in P9.
And here.
6 tenths faster here. I don't know. It should be well up into that top 5 here.
Here we go. Here comes Sexy Rexy Yibbita Yibbita and his rainbow paddle pop. He goes to 4th position. Great lap there. Norm's back in the pits. Sofa and Spawn having a bit of a race of their own there down the inside. Oh, he looked like he was going in too deep there.
Spawn's actually 9 tenths up, so that would have cost me. But he should still get there. Then Nismo's the last car. Spawn's in P20. He's going to go 8 tenths faster. That should put him up a few positions here. P12, and you got Nismo.
And here comes Nismo. Great lap by Polka, says Matty Simmons. Very much so up there on the front row of the grid. Let's go, Mickey T, says Glasso. One of the students of Jason Wilkinson's Driver Training Academy. Of course, signing up the latest talent to his program, of course, and seeing them through to sim racing greatness. Don't forget you get your first lesson free if you call in the next 20 minutes. And someone awesome first time in this car tonight for this track. It's a little bit wild, but I tell you what we're going to do. That's the end of qualifying. We're going to go to the table, Cam, Nigerian Prince Norris, and have a look at that.
I didn't realise Sideways Polka in P2.
I know. The great Matt Simmons just pointing that out. Look at that, P2. And just a coat of varnish off of pole position there in P1. Calling now, Matt Simmons is calling in to the Jason Wilkinson Driver Training Academy. And call in the next 15 minutes and you get that first lesson free. And we'll get...
You've dropped about 5 minutes, so by next time
do we hand out a free KO subscription with this, or that's what they... Everything gets a free KO subscription, doesn't it? But there we have it. That is the end of qualifying. Matt Simmons is on the line. Your call is important to us at Jason Wilkinson's Driving Academy. We dedicate time and your money to making you a better driver. As that's enough about that. Stay on the line because we are ready to go. Have we got a long formation lap tonight? Full formation lap.
I've done it, yes.
And we've got all that
some changes
sorted out. So there we're going to have... I've just been talking there out of school a bit, but side org and sideways polka, that's going to be grandstand box office stuff into turn one. Then it's the German man, Gavea there, who will be looking to send them to the cooler there from third on the grid. Rex Buckinghamshire, and he's going to be doing very nicely. Jono in fifth, Norm in sixth, and then it's Sofa King, Craigo, Burra, and Jimbo chiming in there. Jimbo 91, let's see if I can stay out of the wall tonight. Is that Compact or Jimbo there? And same person, same. It's an extra follower, all good. No harm done as we keep looking down the grid. Auschwizard outside the top 10. Spawn in his particular class. Kilroy and a graduate of the Academy. Nismo, Saint Sim, Mark and Butler. Jimbo Jones there in 18th. Sparky God, The Exorcist and Kick It and Rip It down there in 21st position. And Matty Simmons is keen for this race. Will be good fun to watch a little and then back into the books. Or you could do both and just keep us on in the background, but not sure whether that's going to help the study at all. Jimbo up and about. Like I said, let's see if I can stay out of the wall here at the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari in the north of Italy. Important Nick. Going, go hard, lads, he says. And these boys, Chuck Norris, would not go any other way. They wouldn't be soft. They're going to be very, very hard, aren't they, as they head into turn one? Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does sound quite interesting.
saucy.
Yeah.
Spicy!
Hopefully they're soft, like, bread that's just come out of the oven, and not hard like bread that's been sitting there for like 3 weeks. Because that would be a bit disgusting.
That's an interesting analogy there, almost as interesting as mine. But Nick says, go hard, boys. Cobb, corn on the cob, says Exo for a sneaky top 10. There you go. How about that? The Exorcist is starting well down the field. And at least Wilco got the formation lap right for tonight, says his student. And Mr. Miyagi getting it all fixed up there for you, your teacher.
20 seconds.
And 20 seconds. Thank you, Race Control, letting us know that there is 20 seconds to go. And Matty Simmons saying that there could be some lube required for turn one, because we don't have as many cars as we did last night. But that could be. Just keep it handy. Just with the cap off it there, don't let it spill anywhere, but you might have to keep it handy heading into turn one, because we are ready to get underway for our formation lap. Don't hit drive, of course, and we'll go back to the start. And Sideorg eases away with his Gran Turismo 4 livery. I think it was off GT3 or GT4. Matt Simmons would know better than me, but a fantastic game that was, and pretty much consumed all of my year 12 studies. And that's why I am where I am today, calling with you good people. And that's how it went back in those days. But the cars pulling off the grid. 2 Nissans enter and 1 Nissan leaves. Liam Neeson. Mint knows all and sees all, referring to the great Matt Simmons, of course, their corn on the cob. Thank you for the gifted subs as well. And what are we expecting? What's going through the drivers' minds as they have a chance tonight, don't they, Chuck Norris, to heat the tyres up and get everything up to temperature here? What's going through their mind on this formation lap?
Oh, look, there'd be a lot going through their minds, especially after last night, hoping that not only they can keep it clean through T1 and 2, especially T3, because, you don't want to be written on that mural at the end of the night, like, unfortunately, a few drivers last night were the centre. But no, it's one of those difficult ones, it's the tight, twisty nature of this track, and it's not only produces great close quarter racing, but sometimes incidents happen, and hopefully these big Chungus Nissans manage to get through the first opening laps unscathed.
And there we go. Ride Eternal, shiny and chrome, says Dick. Loving this chat. Matty Simmons says, I would have to run the same livery as Sidorg. Love my race team, RJN Racing. Are we ready for this?
Kick and rip and spun on the
and
is he damage? He's got damage before the race has even started.
Wow, he's done a I am stupid. Is it Charles Leclerc did that, didn't he, in Brazil? And David Coulthard many years ago. But wow, there you have it. And has he got damage? He does have damage to the side of that car.
Yeah, it was at the hairpin, so I think he might have. No, he's done something. He's kicked and ripped something into the wall. So,
well, he's put that into the wall there before the races even began. Forget Vegas, we got KRL at Imola in the Liam Nissans. Where else would you rather be? And Matty Simmons suggesting that he's just warming up the tyres. And a big call from Glasso here, who is just saying that Polka to lead after turn 1, and it's escalating because Matt Simmons wants him for Prime Minister, boys.
Well, let's see.
Let's see.
I'm watching the back of the field, making sure everyone gets through the first few corners cleanly. But we might. We'll talk about it during the race, but I'm thinking we might have to bring back the safety car for the next few rounds, which is something we did in season 2 and 3. So more to come, as we get on through the race. But Trev,
let's get ready to rumble. Forget about Las Vegas. It's round 4 of KRL here at Imola tonight. We're almost ready to go. Australia have got South Africa 4 for 24. They're choking in another semi-final. Doesn't surprise me, but we're ready to go racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Green light, go, and Sidorg is the man who leads away into turn 1, and sideways Polka. His run for Prime Minister into turn 1 is looking Scheisenhausen at the moment, because the German rifle pops up into second place as they all get away cleanly through the Tamburello chicane. We head down to Tosa for the first time. Zoom. Here they come. Sexy Rexy making moves as well at the start. And 2 Nissans did enter turn 1, and 1 Nissan leaves. And unscathed, of course, Nick is absolutely on fire tonight. So is Cobb McCool and Big Matty Simmons, the great man, up and about as always. But Simon Bishop leads on the opening lap. Hectic start, but he's got the lead here. Chuck Norris into turn 1 on lap 1.
Yeah, it looks like it's gotten away nice and clean.
Yeah.
I believe there was only one car that I saw in the dust on the home straight. So, yeah, nice clean start compared to last night. So, this is surely going to be a really good one.
50 minutes of racing ahead of us here, ladies and gentlemen, for round 4 of this championship. Thursday becoming the new Friday, back-to-back nights of KRL, because it's Simon Bishop. Oh, Trev, I thought I was your favourite driver. Well, you certainly are doing your chances no harm at all. And Gavea now getting attacked by Jono Stan, whose birthday it was the other day on Facebook, and I forgot to message him. Felt bad about that. But now he's in third, looking for second here. Wilco, he's making moves.
Yeah, we messaged him race saying, is it all good at a race? Jump on, and he's currently in P2, about to go through with Mickey there, but Mickey sideways Polka's pulled out, but now he's got Rexy all over him like a cheap suit, as there's a bit of lag there, and Rexy might have slapped the backside of sideways Polka there, and yeah, that was like, it's gone, they're gone deep. I'll tell you what, this is all
Jono,
all over the place.
All over the place. Like a rainbow paddle pop melting in the summer sun. Sexy Rexy is not melting away though. Yibbity. And there's and there's carnage And that looks like the infamous Tamburello corner. Chuck Norris has caught somebody out again.
Yeah, somebody's unfortunately been centered, and I believe that somebody might be somebody awesome. Or someone awesome, you might say.
Yeah, someone awesome, someone a Nismo. I think everyone sort of got checked up through that or the little kink there, and it's balked a few guys, and someone like somehow I think he hit the curb and spun. He then spun to the left, hit Nismo. Nismo's got horrible damage. He's then bounced off Nismo and gone into spawn. So, I mean, maybe we should have asked for a clean 50 minutes rather than... But, look, there was nothing wrong, you know. No one did anything wrong. I think it was just sort of a bit unlucky with a few of those drivers. But Simon is skipping.
He certainly is. Famous saying, wasn't it? There's nothing wrong with the car except it's on fire. From the great Murray, the great Murray Walker years ago. But here we go, coming through to complete lap 1, and he is streaking away at the front. And Voodoo says, I should stop cursing people on the formation lap. My bad, lads. Blame it on me. I had a telemarketer call me just then. I thought it might have been Voodoo. But Sidorg is leading this race, and he's leading by plenty. Max Verstappen numbers here, Chuck Norris. 3.6 seconds on the opening lap. But Jono has Sexy Rexy behind him for good measure, and he is not giving an inch here.
Yeah, so Seidel getting away from the field, but Jono and Rex are having quite a killer battle here. Norm not too far behind, sideways Polka as well, not far back there too. But you know what would make this race even bigger, Trev? You know, this is screw F1 in Las Vegas. We can have the Sphere here at Imola, and it will be even better.
We certainly could, and we could even get some of Wilco's driver training playing on that big Sphere. But Jono, speaking of Jason Wilkinson, that is the famous Jason Wilkinson corner, which I've named after him, after that famous move on Matterford there at the end of that race many years ago. Many moons ago, in fact. But Sidorg, this is helping Sidorg, isn't it, Jason Wilkinson? Because we're getting very much a Jono, Yano, Trilly train thing happening here at the moment.
Yeah, he has a little moment there, Jono, and Rex might have a go at him here. But yeah, now Simon's, just out there cruising now. He's, Rexy, whiz, here we go. Jono's gone a bit deep, Rex going for the, he's run up the arse. Oh, now Norm. A lot of arse play going on here, Trev.
That's all I'm hearing is arse this and up the arse that. Because at the end of it, Jono still holds second place, and we've got to be careful what we say as Cobb on the cool, or Corn on the Cob says cool now and get a free rainbow paddle pop when you sign up to Sexy Rexy. And look at this, yippity yippita. And now Norm has poked his arse into P3 there. It's all happening, and these arses, they're all very close, Chuck, and that's what you'd expect here in the opening laps.
Yeah, exactly, and the Nissan, everyone's in that, same make, same car, that kind of thing, so very even playing field. It's all down to how you do the setup, but, with all this arse play going on, Trev, I hope they're handing out free, condoms and shit if people are walking in, because, it's safety first, right?
Yep, we should have listened to Matty Simmons. He wanted lube at turn 1, and now we're on lap 3. And there's been a lot of argy-bargy stuff. I missed that one. Maybe it's for the best. But through the Aqua Minerale, I think that's what it's called there, is Jono still just in front. But Norm right up his ginger, along with Sexy Rexy. And that is a paddle pop. If I'm seen one that's not going to melt under the pressure, because he's alongside Norm. He just can't quite make the move on this occasion. He pulls out, gets onto the grass, and down to the final couple of corners here. Sexy Rexy not quite making that move stick. Sideways has gone forwards and then sideways and now backwards here, Jason Wilkinson. And many had him penciled in for being in P1 at the end of the first corner and being even Prime Minister, but he's down in P5.
Yeah, well, do remember he's actually fast at the moment as Rexy goes side. And Norm holds out, but Yeah, if we go back to the classes for a sec, obviously you got the white boards in the background there, oh, sorry, with the numbers. Pro drivers, the silvers are the Pro-Ams, and the Am drivers. Skywise Polka's leading the Pro-Am class, and then you've got Butler leading the Am class with Exis and Spawn, who are using the pit stops at the moment. Yeah, they're about a lap down now, someone awesome at Nismo. So they've got some big damage, so that's going to make it, you know, a long 42 minutes here, but yeah, we'll just keep an eye on those classes and see who's who in the zoo.
And let's have a look. Nismo says, guess I'll gun for fastest lap now. And he's pretty gutted. And I just said, I'm always here to chat. As soon as I see one of our boys feeling a bit under the weather, I jump in. Always here for a chat. There's a German rifle down there. He says, cheers, I'm going to stick it out and see the checkered flag. We'll keep an eye on Nismo, who's in the pits at the moment, well down the field. We'll keep an eye on that. But Gavea, were we expecting more speed from the young German here tonight? He's still in P6 and still a long, long way to go, Chuck Norris. Where can you see the German rifle finishing up here in the pecking order?
Yeah, so as you say, Trev, is a little bit further down from where we kind of expected the German rifle to be, but is also, in my opinion, in a really prime position. So as he slowly starts catching, obviously he's got the train of people behind him, but you know, he can ultimately take the best pit entry out of all of them. He can time it right. As long as Sideways Polka keeps gaining on the guys in front, he might be able to come in early, get an undercut, come out with clear air, and just absolutely send it. And, you know, we might end up seeing him in the podium positions, because right now, this train and this battle that's going on, you don't want to be sticking in it for too long when you know you can come in early, get that stop done, and absolutely send it, because, you know, you might gain a position or two.
Great words of wisdom there from a multiple race winner, champion. He's done it all, Chuck Norris, our man from South Australia, joining us tonight, as he often does. In fact, he always does. And a man who was bitten by a snake, and then 5 days later, the snake died. And that's how tough he is. And Gavea there, going through the Acqua Minerale. And mamma mia, let's get your votes in. Polka for PM. Oh no, in fact, the vote has ended. 1 vote for Polka. And there we have it. So it's a democracy here at KRL. And Polka will be taking over from Albanese in the very near future for Prime Minister. He is currently, though, under pressure from that German rifle who we spoke about a little...
Sorry, I'm just...
And what are you doing there?
I'm just doing the under pressure song. Under pressure.
And yes, that's all right. It took me a while, but I'm with you now. But less than 40 minutes to go now. We've chipped away 10 minutes into this race. And let's take a look at what they're doing lower down the order, because this is an interesting, spicy sexual battle here. Because Jimbo Jones in the AM class right up behind Exorcist. And this is a battle between...
Sparky and Butler.
Oh, Sparky. Oh, I'll get you, Butler. And he's side by side down the main straight, heading into the Tamburello, which used to be a fantastically fast-flowing corner before they completely ruined it. But still, nevertheless, Sparky, just with his nose in front, holds that position. Chuck Norris, and lives to fight another day against Stan Butler.
Yeah, so he must have thought that Butler was going to go down inside there, but unfortunately he didn't. So not only did he sacrifice his entry and, you know, the speed he could have carried through the corner, but he almost didn't pull it up. So thankfully he did, and we didn't see him off in the gravel trap. But yeah, simple mistake to make when you assume somebody might be down the inside there.
Now Kick and Rip is having a crack here through the Wilkinson turn. Up the top of the hill here, you can see as he got through on the outside, might have been using a little bit of curb there.
Oh, that was dangerous.
And that is very, I don't think 4 Nissans go into there, do they? We'll go through that corner.
No, they don't. They're quite wide, but Jimbo's going to try and move. It's not going to work, so hopefully... Oh, he's going to send it. Oh, bumping.
Oh,
I'm
not. Where? Gee whiz,
well,
where did...
you say the Nissan's quite heavy, isn't it?
Jimbo's sort of The collision physics just forgot about themselves there, or whatever it is on these. Oh, and there we go. A bit more ass play through the Aqua Enzo corner, whatever it's called around there now. But I've got to say,
with the name.
and Matt Simmons says the boat is beached airs. That's a bit of a throwback. On beached airs, bruh. And kick
Matt
it.
Simmons or Simon? What's going
And
on?
there's a bit of a cross between the two, eh? And Jimbo Jones, the man who disappeared just a moment ago, Jimbo. And there's a man who loves his speedway stuff. Get on
This
to.
is the AM class battle, by the way. First, second,
It
and third.
certainly is. First, second, third, and fourth, all together. And Butler, Jimbo, and Exorcist. What a battle this is! And it's still continuing. Stan Butler there from on the buses. Through the tosser hairpin we go. And this battle showing no signs of letting up. As you can see here that wow, this is there's battles right the way through, but this is for position in their respective classes, Chuck.
Yeah, this is honestly really good to see. You know, our AM drivers, you know, we might bracket our drivers into Pro, Pro-Am, and AM, but you know, it doesn't.
Jimbo knocking off a few Pirelli signs as he headed through the Acqua Minerale, and there we go. And he looks like a man who spices up his steaks with a bit of pepper spray, doesn't he? He doesn't hold back. So you can see there as Jimbo now continuing to battle here down towards the end of this lap. Where is he, please? Jimbo there, second overall in his class, I should say, 17th on track, but it's not about that. Oh, and somebody off. Somebody purple is purple and pink. And off the track there, I didn't see who it was. Was it Stan Butler? I think it might be. And he's in the pits, Jace, straight away.
Oh, he just stopped in time. Yeah, he's 35 minutes. He's going for it. The only thing is, he's that far behind the lead group. I'm talking, 20 seconds or so. We're going to come out right alongside Simon and Jono and stuff. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But back to the front, we got Sideways Polka still holding Station in front of Gavea. Rex is right behind, and bunching up. And Burrow, we sort of haven't really mentioned Burrow. My admin team brothers in the endurance series, he's P9, so not too bad for and Craig just behind him, and then there's a little gap behind to Mark and Kilroy and Saint Sim. But yeah, that front battle, well, that P4-5 battle is looking quite tasty.
Certainly is. Glasso redeeming the Ricardo laugh. That's how it sounds, but the missus will be wondering what on earth is he doing tonight, talking to other men about
usual.
Yeah, sitting in a dark room with a headset on, talking to 20 other guys about arse play. That's just that doesn't sound good, does it? But Psydog, this man continuing to dominate, and I tell you what, he's the sort of bloke that only needs 20 minutes to watch 60 minutes. That's how smart he is. And I've got to say, down to the hairpin, 4.6. What is the strategy, Jason, that he'll be using here tonight? He's very much in the box seat, isn't he, in terms of strategy? Mandatory pit stops, of course, if you're new to these races, but he can really call the shots, can't he, from P1?
Yeah, you'll pull into the pits, crack open a beer, have something to eat. It's probably dessert time there in this. Then say I might go finish the last 20 odd minutes of this race with what I think he's crude. Oh yeah.
There we go. You cut out there, but that's okay.
Oh,
That's okay.
I was just saying how good Simon is.
That's all right. That's nothing wrong with that. Gavea now. Here is an interesting battle. Sideways though, P4 at the moment, and so the field spreading a bit at the business end. But Gavea, those bumps there at the chicane causing all sorts of issues, and we saw Jimbo disappear into the princely shadow realm there for a second. But 32 minutes, this race going very, very quickly here tonight, and you can see Gavea now Just getting that car slowed down. We're not seeing too many moves, but Chuck, is he close enough to get a move done here? If he can slide in behind him and get some of that slipstream, could he be a chance?
Yeah, there could be. I think it's just going to depend on probably the wing that these guys are running and the rake and stuff like that. So looks like Gavea is running a little bit higher than what Sideways Polka is. So I think he's really got to rely on a mistake.
And we're here. Oh, sexy Rexy. And he's a bit out of shape there. And it looked like Auschwitz, one of the two German brothers, going off as well, Wilco.
Yeah, Rex had a Rex must be running minus 15 wings. So he breaks out of turn 1, then both point and Rex in announcement. Craig and Burra being all over.
There we have it as Kaimab joins us. She says, new COD looks cool. And that is some sort of code or something. We'll have to get that. She's a VIP, so we've got to be careful what we say. And she's just outside the door. Oh, sexy Rexy! Yibbida yibbida! And he was, look at that, some sideways drifting Tokyo style action there for the rainbow paddle pop. Let me know if you think he looks like a rainbow paddle pop, Kaimab, because I know you think, oh, and Burra, what on earth happened there? I don't know, but he just seemed to get a little bit out of shape there. But that is a fantastic looking livery. Let's talk about someone we haven't talked about in a long while, and that is Mark Ledwidge.
Did I send it or did I
send it?
Yeah, you send it!
Send it, baby!
Oh,
And there we have it.
guys. Oh,
Great
thank
job,
you.
guys. And the smooth operator, in fact, there, Carlos, in his Ferrari. And Kaima VIP with no kit coins. Not sure whether I have the ability to send you kit coins.
Still has no kid coin.
And, well, that means you're just not watching for long enough. That's all I can really say. I haven't got a lot of sympathy for you there. And Kaima, who is on the other side of that commentary door, so we've got to be a little bit careful what we say. She's doing the Grandpa Simpson now. Sex! There we go. Great stuff, Kaima. And, oh, Auschwitz! This Stilkov has a drive-through penalty, and I'm not sure what German is. German for drive-through penalty. Oh, Das is not good. And holy Scheisenhausen. And I think it must be Boxen something or other. Because
What's Matt redeemed there, Trip?
I know, I'm just trying to find where to plug the car, but I haven't got the damn thing plugged in, Wilco.
He's putting his shirt on, he's
Put the pants back on.
putting the bottom away, he's just making...
Hang on,
With this,
hang on, it might not even be plugged in. Hang on, let's wait and see.
For a minute quickly, though. Ash was it with this drive-through penalty? I might as well throw him on the train cover.
Oh, Rex has got one now too.
Oh no!
And it seems that Rex has got one, so is that from the same incident perhaps, as I look to get some clothes on in front of this webcam? Let's have a look if it's gonna
Just while we're at it, do you reckon, are we able to like start a petition and get a way for them to just side by side it through pit lane for these
They're
drivers?
doing it now.
Yeah, they're behind each other.
Carl, can you hear me now, Carl? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Radio check. 1, 2. Radio check.
Wait,
Oh,
Kai,
hang on,
right?
Trev's on.
I fixed it for you. I server muted Wilco. He can't talk no more.
And-
He's been deafened.
Is he still there?
He can come back.
That's okay. Let's get back to the racing. We're seeing some pit stop action here at the moment, and I'm not sure what's happening there. Anyway, there's a lot going on, but we're seeing the pit stop action. Let's talk about Sofa King here at the moment in P7, leading, no, second in his class. He's having a very nice race here, Chuck Norris, if you don't mind.
Yeah, he is having a very good race. It's definitely one that's marvelled so far. So it's not actually too far away from Sideways Polka. So, those drive-throughs, unfortunately, for those two drivers having to come through and serve them has boosted these guys up a little bit in terms of track position. So Sofa King is probably thinking about the time to come into pit lane. Am I going to get right behind him and then just sweep it into pit lane, or am I going to get taken away by Charlie the Alien in the chicane?
Well, you never know. Jimbo got taken away by Sir Charles, and you can see him there. He's a sneaky, this green little sneaky green bastard, slimy bastard he is. You just never know what he's going to do, but we'll put him there for now because we've got to get back to the racing business. And he looks like me after grand final day. He can't stand up. That's okay. But you just stay there, Charlie, and watch all of the action, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. Kaima can't hear what's going on, but you don't even need to hear this because it's absolutely fantastic. You can just sit back and watch it. If you're deaf, you can even put on subtitles and all that jazz, but that's dangerous territory there. But lap 13, and these front runners yet to pit Chuck Norris, and what does that tell me? They're staying out as long as they can here.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to be the long game is definitely one to go for. So Jono, though, he does have the purple lap of the race. So this man is on an absolute mission. He might be 4.7 seconds currently until we see that update. But 4.7 seconds behind Sidorg with the purple lap of the race. Well, it's 5.2 now, so he has lost a little bit of time over the course of this lap, but well, it's definitely one of those ones, you know, do you go long in the Nissan, or do you go for the undercut? I'm still trying to figure out what works.
As whilst you're trying to figure out what works, we've got Gavea hunting down Norm. Quicker than you can say German rifle on the eastern front. We've got 26 minutes to go in this race. And there we have it, Kaimab getting amongst the emojis there. And Cobb McCool, caught on the cob, says, yesterday I bought a rather second-hand AU Falcon XR8 to add to the collection. And he's dubbed it the Rat Poo Express.
Oh, Burrow.
And there we go. Burrow, has he got into some mischief again? Stop-go penalty, Wilco. What happened there? Is that some contact?
No, he did a pit stop and come out. So he obviously speeding in the pit lane. And that's taking him out of contention because he was up there in the Pro-Am battle. But yeah, we're looking at Sober Kings now in the pits. Jimbo hasn't pitted yet, Exo has. So, yeah, it's not looking too good for a few of these boys. We just had a message from Craig Eo. So he's done for the night. He was sitting in a nice P8 or 10, I think it was. So he's quite upset that the power happened to go out now and not in 25 minutes. Unfortunately, that is the world.
Yep. I think the internet to Carrum Downs is struggling there tonight because Wilco keeps cutting out. I might not. Are you with Optus, Wilco?
I don't know.
And what was that? Oopa chaka, oopa, oopa, oopa chaka. There we go. And we've lost him again. He must be with yo. And yes, poor old Craigo, the wooden Indian who couldn't get a kiss. 3 inches thick and you'll be cooking all night, says Kaima B. I think she's talking about his fillet steak there, but a rather unpleasant rodent infestation. We've got to be careful there in the Falcon. That's enough for commentary cam. Matt getting his kit coins worth with this commentary cam. We're going to say goodbye and say goodbye to Charlie there. And there we go. We're going to get rid of that. That was the X-Files, I think. Anyone old enough to remember that show. But into the pits, they've come in together. Willkommen into the box. That's German for they're both in the pits.
Sorry, we were in Australia.
And speak now or forever hold your peace, Chuck Norris. The interesting strategy here.
Oh, Jimbo.
No. What is, everyone seems to be plagued with these penalties. Race control, slapping people silly out here tonight.
They certainly are.
Yeah,
and
that was a drive-through for speed in the pit, so he must have been like 1 or 2 Ks out.
Well, it doesn't make any bloody difference. Only a little bit over. You bloody idiot. Remember those famous...
You bloody idiot.
You bloody idiot. Just waiting for a mate. That was in Carrum Downs, wasn't it, that guy? Just waiting for a mate?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
My local shopping centre.
Yes. Well, there you have it. But Jimbo with a
You're
drive...
federal officer of the law.
Yeah, he's just Oh, Burrow there, nearly.
No, I'm a Victorian police officer.
Burrow there.
I can do the whole thing if you want.
Yeah, we'll just get back to the
Hey.
entree. Here we are trying to straight. Usually the other way around, isn't it, Chuck? But tonight he's just very up and about. But Burrow
Well, I'm cutting
almost.
out, so it doesn't matter what I say. Unga chaka.
Oh, it sounds like you're choking on a sweet chili tender in bloody.
Reminds me of that, you know that like oogada boogada thing from Crash Bandicoot.
Ubadaka. And something like that. But Matt Simmons says, I did see a putty tat. Thank you very much. He says bye to Charlie. And Kaimab with a white onion. Could be a white cricket ball. But anyway, those South Africans choking once again. That's what they usually do. I had coffee with a South African out on the weekend. And he goes, good luck for the weekend. And I said, yeah, well, we won't need it because you've choked 3 times in World Cup semi-finals. And we're going to beat your ass down hard. And he goes, oh, I don't know about that. We're rugby world champions. And I said, who gives a fuck about rugby? But there we go. Cobb McCool. EXO up to 15th. Beware of Satan's Johnson, says Cobb McCool. He's up and about. And who are we looking at, please, now? It's a tricky pit entry with how close the pit entry line is. Burrow, that's who I was talking about, Chuck. Making love to that pit wall on the way out almost.
Yeah, he didn't unfortunately do what I did that one time at band camp where I flirted with the barrier and, you know, I just didn't pull out quick enough. But, you know, that's a story for another day.
Certainly is. And Cobb McCool says Mint knows all the other race drivers' excuses. And then he's fired back saying, ha ha, if you ever need any, you know who to ask. Not sure why I read out the ha ha like Siri, but anyway, that's great stuff. Ha ha. That's last words from Stephen Hawking. Do 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 do. And yeah, the Windows shutdown noise. But 20 minutes remaining in this race. That's terrible. But Side-Org race leader Chuck Norris, and the man that makes 2-minute noodles in 1 minute. He's in the pits now, making his first stop and only stop.
Yeah, so hopefully no drive-through or stop go 30 or, you know, anything like that. God forbid I curse it, you know. But no, he looks like he's going to get a clean, easy stop here. And I'm looking forward to seeing how close this gap might be when he comes back out. Because it's definitely going to be one to watch with Jono still holding that purple lap.
And 20 minutes to go here in this race. And in a 50-minute race with 20 minutes to go, that means we've been racing for 30 minutes. It's just pure mathematics, really, when you think about it, because that means that we're over half race distance. Where has the race gone? We've been having so much fun with you here in round 4 of this Nissan 1-Make GTR Matt Simmons Cup that the time has just gone by. And my best Imola pit lane entry of all time. And there it is. And Drex there clipping that one. But have a look at that. That is when our man Nigerian Prince. Did you have a punch on with the pit lane? What happened there, Prince?
Yeah, it's I can't really explain. I mean, okay, I'll give a quick explanation because I feel like when people watch it, they're probably going to think I was a total idiot. But it was I flirted with the pit lane barrier once, and basically I got to slow down or you're going to speed into pit lane on the opposite side of pit lane, so where Kilroy's driving past now. And I decided, you know what, I'll try it for a second time and see if I get that warning pop up. But you know, I ended up hitting the nice bottom out, and you know, I kind of flew straight into the fence, and you know, the rest was history.
Not something you want to do around this circuit, because you'll be very lucky if you can walk away from that one. Matt Simmons impressed with my mathing. He says my maths is absolutely on point. And I've got to say that, Craigo, first time chatter. Let's hope he's following as well. Craigo, yeah! And you can see I'll be happy to watch this one.
So for King.
And,
so you've got to drive
and they're handing him out now, Wilco. He's got to stop go. Yeah. My goodness, they're handing him out like candy there at race control.
Yeah, he Yeah, got to drive through in the third last corner of the chicane for fantastic. Drive through straight away, and then you get to stop, go 30 with speed in the pit lane. So not a fine 30 seconds there for Sofa King there, but Simon just actually run wide there, and that gap now was 2.9. It's going to be down to 1.8 now with Jono. So Jono is hounding. Of course, these guys, along with Matt, are the BCG 1 or 15, whatever they are, team in the endurance series, and they're currently leading the championship. So they're P1 and 2 at the moment, and Matt is down in P22, Trev. He's not racing.
Well, that's very unfortunate for him, but those who are... Oh, and somebody off there. I didn't see who it was. I saw a flash there go through your picture, but thank you to Craig OEO, and who has now followed and joined the family. Great stuff. Beaky says, what is happening to the sexy Rexy paddle pop, rainbow paddle pop? And we're going to have a look at that Sofa King there. You can see with the stop go 30. Matt Simmons says this is a spicy battle. And that sounded like Taylor, who should really be in bed on a school night at 9:02 p.m. Eastern time. But anyway, we'll let it go for this time. But Gavea right now, oh, look at that. He's reloading that German rifle, getting ready through the Aqua Minerale. That's what it used to be called many, many years ago, but not sure what that corner's called now. But still heading up towards the top of the hill now. And Gavea right behind. He's not going to get through here. I can't. I've just got 16 minutes and I'll read your story, okay? Go to bed, sweetie. Good girl. Go to bed. Good girl.
Get the stream on for her.
And
we can kill two birds with one stone.
There we go. And speaking of killing birds with stones.
Like green eggs are here, mate.
And speaking of killing two birds with one stone, that's just what Gavea wants to do here. Germans know a thing or two about that, don't they? As Spawn getting out of the way, down the main straight, across the start-finish line, up to 11th now for the, who's that? Cobb McCool saying up to 11th now, but Gavea, he's got this job done, Chuck Norris here.
Yeah, that was a nice move there on sideways Polka. That one was brewing for a little while there. But the driver we were talking about for 11th, that is the Exorcist, one of our AM drivers. He's actually netted himself up to quite a good position. I believe, Trev, this might be his highest position so far, so hopefully he can maintain it and hold it to the checkered flag, because it would be great to see an AM driver, constantly make improvements each week.
Certainly would be, and part of the relegation system, or however it works. But Sidorg still leading, but Jono, it's only 1.3 there. And I agree with Jason. Wilco says, Beaky, there's a first. He says, put the stream on for it. That'll put her to sleep. That's very funny. You think you're very funny. Well, we got 23 people watching, so look at us go. He's the sort of man, I think I've said it in the past about Beaky. He'll sell a gun to a blind man and tell him it's a hairdryer. But there we go. Matt Simmons, smart idea by Polka to let Gavea, the German rifle, go there so he can secure the Pro-Am win. And Kaima just apologising for Taylor entering the commentary box there. And Matty Simmons, big support there for his BCG1 teammates. But Sidorg, he is staying cool, calm and collected here. He's the sort of guy that could... it's 1 second now. He'll be getting very sweaty palms indeed for the Kiwi, but he's the man who can start... He could start a fire with an ice cube. That's how cool he is, and I've got no idea what I'm talking about. Chuck Norris, so take over, please.
I think you're getting your Chuck Norris quotes mixed up with Simon, so...
It's down less than a second now. Good gracious Mavis, and somebody just getting out of the way.
That's
I think
Burrow
getting out of the way because he wants front row seats to this battle. And less than a second, 13 minutes remaining. And Beaky says, that's my side hustle, Trev, selling hair dryers. I'm in Benalla next week if you're around. Well, if we had electricity in Benalla, I'd give you a call. We're still back churning butter like the Amish people off that show. But Corn on the Cob says, should have got EXO on a same race multi. Go you good thing. Do we tell them about our new betting markets as well now? We've got it all covered here, Wilco. Don't you forget about that. And we've got driver coaching, streaming, commentary, Nigerian black voodoo magic,
Beer making,
butter churning,
brewery,
brewery,
KRL brewery opening up soon.
KRL brewery.
And the winery.
And the winery, don't forget about that. And just think of what you could be spending that money on. You could be not putting a same race multi on and buying our beer, but we'll be releasing merchandise as well after that. Another close finish like last night, and this is where it's at. Everybody important has made a pit stop, so now it's a sprint race to the end in the next dozen or so minutes, Jason.
Yes, it is. So Simon, we know, does burn off his tyres a little bit, and he's been trying to work on that recently. We know Jono is quite an aggressive driver. He's sending it over these curbs. I've never really spoken to Jono in a podium interview, so if he can hold on for the last 12 minutes, we're going to see how if he's as good as my mate Jono, Big Dog Jono.
Yes, and Jono, geez, if he wins this race, I'll feel very bad about not wishing him a happy birthday message on Facebook the other day, because Kaima says, I don't like crumbs, and Jono is normally shocking on tyre wear. And there we go, Kaima needs a bathtub and a hairdryer there. That doesn't sound very responsible, does it? Unless she's going to put me...
If power goes out, I should be alarmed, Trev.
Unless she's going to put me in that bath. So awesome to watch. And I've got to say, I agree with Matt Simmons there. In fact, I usually agree with everything Matt Simmons says ever since we first met at the cafe in Gran Turismo 7 on release day back in March 2022 for Gran Turismo 7. Playing on the PS4 back then, but little did I know I'd get a PS5 and be where I am today. But who is your money on? Can we get some comments in, please? Can we start a democratic vote in the chat to let us know who is going to win in their respective classes here? Get your comments in. Listen to Chuck Norris, the Nigerian Prince, and get them in, because we've got only 10 minutes remaining in this race. Try to continue with 1 minute of damage. And Sofa King saying, Wilco, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, I was on board with him when he, at the moment he gave up and went through a corner and said, no, you know what, stuff it, and put his foot to the floor and ended up, really damaging the car when he hit the wall there. But all good so far. We'll catch you next week, my friend, and another driver I'm doing some coaching with on Monday night. So we'll see how we goes. I'm on a good strike rate at the moment. Glasso was, driver to win his M class last night. He was one of the guys that did driver coaching with. We've got Kilroy at the moment, another one I did coaching with this week. He's currently hanging on to P3, but he's got Saint Sim all over him for Pro-Am. And we got Mickey Soles Polka, who I did driver coaching with 2 months ago. He's currently leading the Pro-Am class. So we'll have to start raising the prices, Trev.
Well, I tell you what,
unless you keep giving away for free every year. But no, we're looking good. We're looking good.
They certainly are. All of Wilco's students, all of his evil henchmen, and somebody's let Vladimir Putin in the room. Craig, yeah! He's tipping Sidog for the win, and now that gap has increased to 1.5. So Jono there just getting a little bit further back there, but he's still plenty of time, 9.5 minutes to go in this race. And Voodoo putting in the Russian message there, something about Russian girls or women or something.
Why are you talking like Dracula?
I want to suck your blood. And there we go. And Cobb says, who let Putin into the room? And yes, who let Putin into the room? And Matt Simmons says, all right, you sold it. I am joining the academy so I can win a race this season. And that's a man who's actually from a real academy, if you don't mind. The Nissan Academy, Gran Turismo Academy. And, of course, they made a movie about him as well. That's how famous he is. And he is here giving us his time before he heads off on his next adventure. I forget where he was going, but good thing he didn't disclose it to me.
Next one.
work-related and...
he's probably not told you, so you're not sitting out there knocking on his window in the middle of the night. Saying, oh Matt, how's Hank going? Oh, were you born in this hospital? Oh, you went to this, just general, and all the other information he got on the...
Help me, I'm stuck in the washing machine.
He's in the washing machine. Oh dear. And
have you shown Matt your shrine in your to him in your commentary box?
If I tell you what, if he just, I tell you what, well, should we let him in on a little secret? I'm working on a little piece called Post. It's a song, Postman Matt, and he's black and white. Early in the morning, as the day is dawning, he's off to do his rounds. Everybody knows, and there we go, Postman Matt, and there we go. He was once a postman, now a racing champion. We've got 7 minutes to go in this race, and please keep me on the straight and narrow here as we head towards the finish. Kaima wants to join the academy. Little does she know what the academy actually is, and you might wake up in some sort of Squid Games type scenario, and you'll never know how to get out of there. Auschwitz, and this is a disappointing little sauerkraut here, Prince, because he hasn't had a good race tonight.
Yeah, he's had a bit of an unfortunate run here tonight. I do hope that, a lot of these drivers, we've seen penalties galore here tonight, so hopefully some of these drivers, it's just an Imola curse and it'll be lifted next week at Spa, because, yeah, you hate to see drivers that are in contention for good results, unfortunately just, whether it's bottoming out and coming in a pit lane, hitting that nasty bump and unfortunately sending him through, but nonetheless though, hopefully these drivers get that stuff sorted out and we do see a little bit better next week, because a 2-minute pit lane travel time at Spa is definitely not one you really want to be flirting with.
It certainly isn't, and flirting with that gravel trap, not ideal either, of course. But 30 people, we've hit a game high, stream high 30 people with, Jesus could be very well watching over us, called Albert, of course, there if you're watching. Prince Albert there, but there we go. So less than 6 minutes remaining in this race, and you think Matt Simmons is great. That's me talking like you, Wilco, talking like me, if you know what I mean. But we've got
look at you go.
and a break right, gas, now gas.
We got to actually look here at, obviously they got the classes. So Norm is a few seconds behind off P3 there, but there's a nice battle for P3 in the Pro-Am class. You got Sparky, Saint Sim and Kilroy. Kilroy just made a mistake at turn 1 and run wide, Sparky and Saint Sim through, but then also down into P16 and P17 for the AM podium here. You've got Jimbo and Spawn, they were very close together and back out to 1.1 seconds, but yeah, so there's battles literally right through the field.
And you can see there, Kilroy. Oh, geez, let's wait and see. We're going to see here. He's under pressure from Auschwitz, and we're going to see him put all of his Wilkinson Driving Academy prowess to good use here down.
We haven't done defending yet, so...
Oh, we haven't done defending. Oh, that's okay then. Well, if he gets past here, then it's not your fault then, so let's wait and see.
Unless he gets hit on the backside, gee whiz.
Ooh, and very close to the backside there once again, but Auschwitz and Kilroy, the battle continues. What else have we? I think this is the closest battle. I think Chuck on the track at the moment with 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah, this is definitely the closest battle as Auschwitz. It's looking very, very racy at the moment. Kilroy will have the inside of the corner up here, but there we go.
Ooh, Auschwitz there and Kilroy side by side as we climb the hill. Exorcist, up to the Wilkinson bend, and they made contact there, and Auschwitz just off the circuit, and Kilroy loses the position, but for how long? And that was very close. In fact, they touched a couple of times there. And you've got to say, Cobb McCool says, first rule of the academy, we don't talk about the academy. And Craigo says the Exorcist looks to be doing very, very well. P12 liking it a lot there, and Matt Simmons giving each other a boat's width. And, well, they live to fight another day, Wilco. Eek indeed, Cobb McCool, corn on the cob, saying there in the chat. But that was very, very close there. Is Kilroy going to be in a position to mount another challenge on Auschwitz? That's what that's the big question here in the next couple of minutes.
No, I think his tyres are cooked. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't take tyres. That's how he got the track position. And yeah, now he's starting to pay for it. So he's got about probably 10 seconds back to Rex. So we should hold on for P10, which will be a good result for him. Of course, this is his first Pro-Am category too, so Pro-Am class, sorry. So to be what's that, 5th overall, and there's a few that have dropped out. I think we had 21 drivers start the race, we're back down to 18 now, so a couple have left us, but yeah, it's not a bad night out for the boys. So you know, we'll keep tuning them up, and we'll see how they go next week in Spa. Still 2 minutes to go though.
Big race still, plenty to play out here though, position wise. The gaps are there, but they're not huge, of course. Plenty to play for in the last couple of minutes and laps of this one. Massive week next week, of course. Spa-Francorchamps, and Matt Simmons will not be joining us for that. But there's going to be plenty of other drivers there, of course. But he'll be with us in spirit and also watching the stream, as you will be too. And massive numbers tonight on the stream. We appreciate your support. Saint Sim and Sparky is getting very spicy. P3 in class, Wilco.
Yeah, so Saint Sim is, and he must have changed tyres because he's got some good pace at the moment. He's lapping quite fast, and he's all over Sparky here. So Sparky, he's just got to focus on his exits. This will be the second last lap as Simon is going through the middle sector now with 1:14 to go. So we'll see. Yeah, this will be probably the last sort of lap for them now. Sorry, 2 laps to go. But you know, it's getting critical with the passes here. He's going to have to really put some pressure on.
So 1 minute left in this race, and Saint Sim is going to have to make some inroads here, I reckon. He's running out of time in this race. Less than a minute to go now, until the fat lady will be singing for Sidorg here in just a few moments around the final couple of Enzo Aqua Minerale corners onto the main start-finish straight. Simon Bishop loves a Nissan or two, if you don't mind, and he comes across the line to start his final lap, actually. There we go. And this is the final lap. I almost...
He won the race, He won. P1.
He won the P1. There we go. Cool, calm and collected from Simon, as per usual. All class, says Matt Simmons. And that was just a bit of a warm-up for the last lap. And the fat lady warming up the vocal cords here for Simon Bishop from New Zealand. And what a chap he is. Jono has put pressure on him here in this race. But in the end, he's going to be only good enough for P2. Gavea was amongst it early in this one in the opening few laps. But he's dropped down. Norm, haven't mentioned his name much. But he's in a comfortable 4th position here at the moment. And then sideways Polka. Any surprises here, Chuck Norris, tonight? Were you expecting anything different here tonight in this race?
Well, this race has definitely thrown a lot of curveballs in terms of the pit lane penalties. I definitely didn't think we were going to see that much, but yeah, it's kind of not surprising to see Sidorg, taking out another win here. We're gonna, be inviting people into the Sidorg cool down room, or we're gonna have to start calling it the Sidorg podcast soon. He seems to be a relative here at the moment.
That's not sure whether we can do that. We do have some other names thrown around, I think, for that podcast on this channel. But anyway, if he keeps performing like this, we might have to name a segment after him. Lights flashing across the start-finish line. He's been the class of the field here tonight, and he wins at Imola. And there we have it. Fantastic performance from Simon. He wins the race. Jono, great result for him with P2. His best result in KRL. Thank you, Matt Simmons. Wow, that's Tamburillo again causing a few issues there. Gavea crosses the line. Didn't fired a few shots early, did the German rifle, and then Norm across the line in P4. And then sideways winning there in the Pro-Am class. Great performance from him. Mark across the line in P2. And these boys just having a bit of fun now across the finish line. And Jimbo there ahead of him as well. He's well down the field. We'll keep going though. Sparky, a podium, P3 for him in class for the Sparky God through the final couple of corners. Auschwitz just behind him there, but of course in the pro class as well. But still a fantastic battle nonetheless. That's how BCG teammates celebrate. They go full Russell and Bottas down at that first corner. And there we have it across the line. Sparky, Auschwitz, Saint Sim. Who else have we got? Kilroy there. And that'll be next week's lesson, defensive driving. Because I tell you what, without Wilco's defensive driving advice, it didn't quite work out. Wow, there's a name that we didn't talk about too much late in the race. The paddle pop, Sexy Rexy, yibbida yibbida. And he's been drifting again. He's been drifting all night, hasn't he, Wilco? He provided some great entertainment there throughout the course of the evening. Kick it and Brad Pitt it, as Voodoo likes to call him, across the line. And that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, a little bit more action there up the rear end, but there we go. And there we have the final results. 50 minutes completed of racing action here at Imola. Sidorg winning ahead of Jono, his best result there for KRL. And then Gavea, Javul, Mainfjorda. And there we have fourth for Norm, Pro-Am, Sideways, Polka, Mark, Sparky God. Another great night, says Matt Simmons. Well done, everyone. And that's the way the cookie crumbles, says Kaim. A couple of cookie jokes in there. And maybe she wants me to do a late night Woolworths run to go down and get those choc chip cookies. You know those choc chip cookies, that sort of those chewy ones that maybe I'm the only one that likes them. But Exo 13th for the Exorcist, not the top 10, but a great effort nonetheless. As we wait for some of these drivers, Mickey's joined us in the commentary box. Sparky in the waiting room. Mickey, you're so fine. We'll get to you, Sideways Polka, in a moment. The Exorcist has joined us as well, the Prince of Darkness, alongside the original Prince of Darkness, the Nigerian Prince. And those Bickies rock. Cobb McCool knows the ones I'm talking about. And Craigo says, I'll take a cookie if you're handing them out. Oh, that's okay. Step into my van. And I might have some lollies as well. Thank you, Craigo, for the follow as well. But we're getting ready to talk to the drivers. Can somebody let Simon Bishop in? Let him in. He's in the waiting room. Oh, now he's in. Yeah. And so, Cam, I think we might get you to talk to the AM drivers. I think you might be taking us away if we've got any. I think here tonight, I think we've got Exorcist in.
Yeah, we've got Exorcist in. Unfortunately, he's deafened at the moment, so we'll have to come back to our...
Let's start with the pros then, there,
Let's do that.
Do you guys want to take away the pros and we'll kind of work our way down tonight?
All right, we'll work out...
Your favourite driver, you can talk to me.
Yes, of course. Matt's obviously off away on work, but Simon Bishop is here nonetheless. Simon, absolute masterclass tonight, my friend. You took the Nissan from start to finish, mate. Absolute. You put on a show, mate. Talk us through it.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot better than yesterday. Should have raced this yesterday. Which is not what you usually say about Nissan. No, it was really good. We had a really good setup on the car. Me and Jono had the same one. Obviously it showed pretty well. I was actually sweating there because Jono was faster than me, but he used up the tyres a wee bit, and I got a bit lucky to start with everybody battling. So a solid day's work, I think.
Fantastic performance, mate. Looking ahead to Spa is another track you do pretty well at. What are you expecting from that next week?
Yeah, it's probably my favourite track on this game, so looking forward to it.
Hopefully you make it through turn 1 this time. Last time you didn't.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, no.
And you've extended your lead in the championship too.
I have, yeah. Gavea did well to get back to third. And yes, 66% of the time, Jason, I don't make it through Eau Rouge, so we'll see whether I add to that or if it balances out.
It's very, very precise.
There we have it. I like those. I like those odds. But congratulations, Sidorg. Once again, absolute class of the field tonight, as you have been all season. Take care. We'll catch you next time around at Spa.
You will indeed.
There we have it. Simon Bishop, absolute masterclass there from him tonight. And Jono is Jono with us? I think we can have a chat with Jono there in P2 in the pro class. Mate, have you got us there?
Yeah, g'day fellas, how are we?
Very belated happy birthday to you, my friend. Best result in KRL P2 tonight. I do apologise. I saw the notification on Facebook, unless I've got a different Jono on there. But P2 tonight, mate. Talk us through your race.
The other Jono, I just realised that.
There we go.
That's Jono Sharp.
No, my birthday's August 12th, mate.
There we go.
So you're still very late, Trev.
Better late than never, or early. But
Okay, thanks, mate.
that's all right. Talk us through your race, mate.
It was pretty fun. I joined last minute because I finished TAFE early today, and never driven the car before. So someone gave me his tune, and it's my favourite track in the world. So for why not give it a crack, and seemed to go pretty well.
Great effort tonight, mate, and good little battle there with Simon, mate. But in the end, 6 seconds. Is that you still happy with that result tonight overall?
Oh, well, I'd like to come first, obviously, but I think poor qualifying put me on the back foot. Had a bit of a battle at the start and carried damage all through the race, and started chipping away at his lead and made up some time in the pits and got within about a second of him. But then I had a poor lap and he set that unbelievable lap time. I think it was a 42.0, and he got away, and I didn't get as close again. And yeah, I was pretty happy. I used up all my track limit warnings right at the end, so when that happened, I just backed off or bring it home. I'm not gonna risk it.
Great work, mate. Well, fantastic result tonight. Like we said, your best in KRL, of course, mate. And well, I'll be blowing out some candles there on the birthday cake for you. Congratulations. We'll catch you next week in Spa.
Hopefully, hope to be there. It's that'd be my second favourite track in this game, so looking forward to it.
Second tonight, and he's going to his second favourite track. What's the worst thing that could happen? As we've got Gavea there with us, I think, in the commentary box here tonight. Gavea, have we got you there?
Howdy. Yep.
Alvita Zane to you, mate. Talk us through it. P3 in the end, 11 seconds off of Simon. But you had some interesting battles, mate. Talk us through your race tonight.
Yeah, very fun, very eventful race. Somewhere amongst the first couple laps, I think I was having a bit of trouble. Some people were making some pretty good passes on me, and I was just trying to keep out of the way, try not to kill my race. But managed to crawl back up to third eventually, and just sort of keep setting solid, consistent times to try and get those positions back. But it all worked out, I guess, in the end for the podium. Solid racing for everyone, though. Yeah.
Great work it was. Pretty tough work out there, mate, in the Nissans tonight. Congratulations on P3. We'll catch you in Spa.
Cheers, mate. Congratulations, podiums.
Great work, Dunker, there to you, Gavea. As I think we've got the Pro-Am guys in here, Voodoo, if you want to kick it off with the 1, 2, 3 from the Pro-Am.
Oh, yeah, I can take off the Pro-Am. So we'll start off with Sparky. Do we have you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Got you loud and clear. Tell us a little bit about your race. Congratulations on taking out P3 in Pro-Am and P7 overall. How did you find the Nissan tonight?
Well, to be honest, I just rocked up, didn't even practice, to be honest. Drove in. That's why I qualified like 21st. But no, the Nissan, I don't mind driving. It was a bit slippery because I didn't actually have it set up for it, but I just threw the aggressive one and just got the fuel strategy right. So that was pretty much my drive. But it was great driving with the boys, especially Sim. So he always makes me work for the position.
It was a really well done drive to come from all the way at the back to finish off in P7 and take out a podium for your class. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you at Spa next week.
Thanks, guys.
Next up, we've got Mark. Do we have you here?
Yes. Good evening, fellas. How are we?
Good. Hope you're doing well. Also, Congratulations on P2 in Pro-Am and finishing P6 overall respectively. You weren't too far behind, about 7 seconds or so from Sideways Polka. A little bit of a miracle there and might have taken out P1. Hopefully for Spa next week you do. But tell us a little bit about your race here tonight. How was the Nissan?
Nissan was a bit slippery. I don't know if it was my setup was not right or I was just trying to go too quick. But yeah, very lonely race. Had a few good overtakes on a few people, and then trying to catch up to Sideways, and I'd catch up, then I'd make a tiny mistake and I'd lose about half a second, then he'd pull away again, and no, but it was not bad from 16th, which I probably could have qualified a bit earlier, but I was on daddy duties, so I had to go pick up the kids and jump in and do a couple of laps for quali. So, but no, it was a fun race. It's always a good car to drive around here. It keeps you sweating.
Yeah, the Nissan's always a good one. Feels a little bit like a boat sometimes, but when you get
Yes.
it hooked up, it does feel quite nice. So congratulations again on taking out P2 in Pro-Am and P6 overall.
Thanks, fellas.
Next up, we've got Sideways Polka. Do we have you there, buddy?
Sure do, do. How you going, mate?
I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, really good, mate. That was a crazy battle amongst the pros.
Yeah, you did really well, taking out P5 overall and P1 in Pro-Am. You had some really good battles there. You know, we thought you were fighting up for a full podium position here. It was just out of your grasp, though. P5 and P1 in Pro-Am, though. Tell us a little bit about your race tonight.
Yeah, well, quali was really good. I was surprised to get on the front row there in second, and I just got swamped off the start because there was the pro boys were going crazy. But yeah, I was on my third track limit for about 15 minutes to go. I didn't change tyres, and I just hoped for the best to see what would happen.
Ah, that's what we like to hear. The false send and the gamble with no tyres just to see what would happen. And, you know, it worked out for you. Took out a P1 in Pro-Am, so definitely a good result to look forward to for next week.
Thanks very much, Peter. Yeah, it was an awesome race. Thanks to everybody else and you guys as well.
Thanking you. Congratulations to our Pro-Am drivers. I will leave it to Wilco for the Am drivers.
Why, thank you. Can you have a look and see if you can fix up Exorcist on his end, because he's stuck on mute for something. But while we do that, I will talk to our third place driver in the Am Club, Jimbo. Welcome to a podium interview, mate. You did get it last night, but you were a little bit get to have a chat with us. But yeah, tell us about your race, mate. You were up there in P1 in the Am class, then you had a drive through and had a good battle with Spawn and ended up P16 overall. So tell us about your race, mate.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes,
got you.
sweet. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, eh? Enjoyed the race there with a couple of boys, battling hard, and yeah, Mr. Stewart got me on the pit lane entry with a couple of Ks over.
That's unlucky, mate. But we go again next week. You are on the world of the wheel now, so yeah, see how you go in Spa next week. Thank you for joining us.
All good. Cheers, thank you.
All right, Butler, have we got you there, mate?
Yeah, bud.
There you go, mate. P2 in class, so another podium interview in category, mate. M class, sorry. Tell us about your race. You had a nice battle with a few of the boys early on and sort of just settled into a nice easy P2 in the M class there.
Oh yeah. Early on it was pretty hectic, but yeah, no, just pitted early and just wanted to get out of that mess of that pressure and that. So and then just set my own pace, and yeah, a couple of the boys must have had long pit stops or drive-throughs and stuff, and just got back to P2. So yeah, it was good. Pretty happy with it.
Good stuff, mate. We'll catch you next week. Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate everything you're doing. It's great.
Awesome.
Great work.
Awesome.
I think
EXO, we got you there, mate.
Yep, we got EXO.
Yes, how you going, guys?
Hey, there we are. We got you now. You fixed it all up. So, mate, P1 in the M class. Tell us about your race. You had a good one?
Well, I actually thought I came third, so there you go. No, that was good fun. It was pretty full on the whole race. I think my pit stop sort of got me to the P1 position then because I pitted in just before Jimbo did. And I'll tell you what, Jimbo, I only couldn't keep up with that bugger. But a great race by everybody. The guys were flat chat through certain corners. There was no way I was going to get through, but it was a great race. Everybody had fun, I think. But yeah, I think this thing with the GTR was at the end. I was losing heaps of tire pressure. Had a puncture, I think maybe. So it was full on. Another great race of KRL racing. Beautiful.
No, good stuff, mate. And that's your first P1 in the M class, I think, too. So, congratulations, and we'll catch you next week. And are you going to be streaming on Tuesday night for the Ruse race?
Yeah, I'll be doing the Tuesday night. I actually do the Sunday night PS4
cool.
version as well. And then I do the Tuesday night for the little M2 BMW series. So I had a lot of fun with that. The boys are loving it, and great fun. Getting you guys on board would be nice to have you guys give me a bit of a hand in there if you wouldn't mind. It would be great. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see. Usually I'm busy Tuesday night. That's why I don't race in Ruse. But
And he
yeah, no,
charges,
definitely. Thank you for the
charges
offer.
by the hour too, Exorcist, so just keep that in mind. He doesn't come cheap anymore, but no, fantastic stuff. Thank you, Exorcist, mate. We'll catch you next time around.
Thank you very much, guys. You're legends. Thanks very much.
Good stuff. Great stuff there. Absolute legend yourself there, Exorcist. But what a night, fellas. Absolutely fantastic numbers. Great racing as well, and we can do it all over again in the, what do we got, 3 rounds left in this championship, Wilco, and we are heading to Spa next time out. Always an interesting place when it comes to racing here on KRL, but we'll be looking forward to that next week. Thank you, Wilco, for joining us.
Yes, and I just want to say a quick little thing. I had a message from Beaky during the week saying that Eddie Klimowicz, I think it's his name, sorry if I mispronounced that, but unfortunately he passed away from cancer, and he's one of the guys who supported sim racing, iRacing, and builds computers and stuff. So yeah, Beaky just said if we can say a few words. He was going to do it himself tonight, but he ended up getting busy and couldn't jump on. But yeah, he was a father, son, a brother, and a top-notch friend to many in the sim racing community. So he was a short battle, and unfortunately another person taken by cancer. So we're thinking of him and his family. Yeah, we'll there's not much to say. It's just another life lost.
Yep, one too many, that's for sure. But yeah, just a big shout out. We know Beaky's a big supporter of the channel. Loves tuning in. Loves the fun we have here on the on this channel and in this championship. But yeah, dedicating this round, of course, to Eddie Klimowicz, great man, and yeah, within the sim racing world. Building computers, of course, for iRacing and sim racing in general. Top bloke, and thinking of Eddie here tonight. So dedicating this round to him, and thinking of him and his family, and of course yourself, Beaky, out there watching like we know you always do. But that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. KRL, I know, I can hear the moans and groans that it's over for another week, but enjoy your Friday. We're going to see you all at Spa. You too, Nismo, hoping to break the hard luck streak, he says there. But big thank you to everyone for watching, all of the drivers for putting it together. You too, Chuck Norris, thank you once again for your contribution.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure as always. I look forward to the Spa-Francorchamps next week.
Going to be absolutely fantastic seeing these cars go up through Eau Rouge. That's all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, next week it is round 5 of the championship from Spa, Wednesday night and Thursday night from 8 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Be kind to one another. See you later, Cobb McCool. And we'll catch you next time around here on KRL. It's bye for now.